Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Bodybuilding News Network. I am your host, Josh Sanch. It is almost 1 a.m. Central Time, but Samson Dauda wins the 2024 Mr. Olympia in spectacular fashion. I did not have him predicted in my top three. I had him in fourth, right behind Samson Dauda, but in a surprising turn of events, he comes in absolutely perfection. In a prep, the conditioning was phenomenal, the structure, the shape. We've talked about it so many times. The guy was going to be a Mr. Olympia champion, but for him to pull it out this year was truly phenomenal. It was an absolute gut check, I think, to the rest of the pro league where it says, hey, shape and structure matters. Conditioning does matter, but shape and structure matters most. I'm absolutely super excited for these guys. I can't express it enough, but I wanted to make sure I came on here and just shared my raw thoughts, my raw opinions with you, the audience, about Samson. And we're going to pull up some photos just real quick just to show you guys exactly what Samson brought to the stage this year, because it truly was phenomenal. And of course, let me know your thoughts down below. I had like one ant on me during the prejudging, and now I'm like itching thinking that there's ants all over me. I'm just a crazy person. But, as we pull up the footage, definitely let me know your thoughts down below on how you thought Samson was going to turn out. I have some, let's see here. I have the prejudging footage. So this was where we thought, okay, everyone's coming into this show wondering, is this guy going to be in shape? Is he going to be ready, right? And then he turns out to win the show. Gosh, I hope the people out there that were talking so much smack about this guy doing France, I hope this is just like a reminder to them that speaking negativity in the world of bodybuilding gets you nowhere. You got to be positive with these athletes. You got to really pump these guys up. And this was the prejudging footage. You can tell because it's black and you can't see anything. But, I mean, the guy just brought such a good look, such great structure to finals. Even in prejudging, hard to tell. It's very, very dark. And it's unfortunate for us who relied on this stuff to make content for you. But you can tell that he was ready. You could tell the mindset. I mean, what a super weapon for him to have his wife as his coach. I think Dennis James made some pretty sexist comments on his podcast that's owned by the Olympia from Jake Wood. Muscle and Fitness, I think. Muscle and Flex Fitness. One of those. But yeah, Dennis James was saying some pretty nasty crap about his wife and how, he was saying like everyone knows that she's not actually coaching him. So essentially saying some pretty sexist stuff. But then for Samson to win the show, I mean, just cherry on top, Dennis. Cherry on top. But what a great champion. I think he's going to really bring in he's going to solidify the era that's happening now of competitors having a great structure, a great physique, tiny midsection, and also doing it relatively healthily, relatively safely. I've talked with Samson online. I've talked with people that have prepped him before in the past, and the guy doesn't take a lot of super supplements, people. He's a very healthy guy. He focuses on the important things in competing, and one of those things being longevity in the sport. So if you think that coming into the Mr. Olympia, all it takes is just slamming a bunch of gear, you're going to be surprised, people. So I'll pull up one more quick little video of Samson posing just to show you guys what he brought. It was just phenomenal. But I do appreciate everyone stopping by and just giving this video a quick little look-see, because it does help us get back into covering bodybuilding again. We had a good 6-month deployment out there in Maryland and kind of just stuck out there doing Army stuff for quite a while. But it's super nice to be done and get to start my life again, essentially. So I do appreciate everyone stopping by. Let's go ahead and pull up this one last video real quick. and then I'll release you guys. Then you guys can go and head out. It's an army thing. And then I'll release you. This is Samson from high definition footage from Prejudging, courtesy of Gilco. Much better footage. Literally the same routine I just showed you, but one was from a live stream and one was from somebody that the Olympia pays to take video. One is something that you have to pay $75 for, and one is typically something an athlete has to pay hundreds of dollars for. That's the difference. But you can tell he brought the conditioning this year. That was the big feedback from Samson, from the judges at the 2023 Olympia, was that he needed to bring the conditioning in the glutes and the hamstrings, and I believe that he did bring that. Although he could bring some more deep detail in the glutes and hamstrings, the upper back, the back in general is just so beautiful. The structure, the symmetry, the lines, the posing presence. Samson's a very good champion, and I believe that now that he is Mr. Olympia, he will be and continue to be a great champion. Now with that extra title of being Mr. Olympia, an Arnold Classic champion and a Mr. Olympia champion. But something I don't think anyone's asked yet, and no one's even thought about, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to say it. Does Samson continue to go after the Arnold Classic titles, or is that going to be a Hadi thing from now on? Is Hadi going to be running through and perennially winning the Arnold Classic titles to say that, hey, I'm still here, I'm still making all this money, even if the Olympia is not going to give me that look? But is Samson going to do the same thing? Is Samson going to hop back into the Arnold Classics and make it exciting? Because now, I had a feeling this is what the Olympia was going to do, and I'm happy that Samson brought the physique to back up this theory. But now you have, I don't count Brandon Curry, I've never counted Brandon Curry. You have 3 Olympia champions coming into the top 5 next year. Derek, Hadi, and now Samson. So these 3 Olympia champions, all 3 of them could go back and forth for many, many years. There's no one that's technically dominant currently. So all 3 of these guys can come back into the Olympia and win it. All 3 of these guys should be doing the Arnold Classics. That's an extra $500,000. Arnold Classic as well. The Brazil Classic. Wherever there's an Arnold Classic title to be held, these guys should be hopping into those shows and doing them. I wouldn't be surprised if people like Martin, who just placed 4th, continues to do the Detroit Pro. You have the Dubai Pro. It's going to have a lot of money coming into it. You have the Pittsburgh Pro. I believe they said it was $100,000. Don't be surprised if one of those Mr. Olympia guys in the top 4, 3 of them being a Mr. Olympia themselves, does one of those shows. 2025 is going to be one of the most exciting Olympia years, pro league years that we've seen in probably the last 2 decades. And I would put money on that. So make sure you guys subscribe here to the Bodybuilding News Network, and make sure you check out other friends of the channel, Mark's Max Muscle, EP09, of course, Desktop Bodybuilding. You've got Superset Man, you've got Project Bodybuilding, Goat Fitness. All these guys are phenomenal bodybuilding YouTube commentators and content creators that make phenomenal bodybuilding content. So check out those guys. Make sure you subscribe here for more coverage in 2024 and as we move towards 2025. I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you for sticking with us. Consider subscribing, and we'll see you in the morning.